I introduced the Chancellor few minutes ago, or been an hour ago, I guess now, as a man with a great heart, and that's absolutely true. He's a first-rate surgeon, a surgeon that set all sorts of groundbreaking research work. He saved children by taking a liver, cutting it in half, an adult liver, and putting it in a young child. He is from from Laredo. He has operated in Rio Grande City. He has been throughout this valley, and he's been a champion of this valley. And he's been a champion of the students throughout the time here. You never get a chance to talk with him when he doesn't wander off and try to meet with the students. Today he went over to the mini Baja and climbed in it just so that he could be with the students. He cares deeply about you, and he's given us a chance to be able to change lives and to save lives. Education saves lives. That's his phrase, not mine. And he uses it all the time to explain why he would leave being a surgeon and take on a job with as much stress as being a chancellor is. He cares about you, as I said, and he cares about this valley. And he had the vision and the gonus to actually get something accomplished that hadn't been accomplished before, to bring down Puff, to get the medical school here. So, mi amigo y su amigo, Chancellor Francisco Cigarroa. Please welcome him.
Well, doesn't he have a remarkable and outstanding president? Robert, thank you very much. And he's going to have a little celebration tonight because he's being honored by the Chamber of Commerce in Edinburgh for, the great work that he's doing at the University of Texas Pan American. Well, let me just, what I'd like to do today is to give you an update, but more importantly than that is, the reason why we do what we do every day is for our students. I mean, that's fundamentally why, our forefathers established the University of Texas with the original academic campus in Austin and the original medical school campus in Galveston. In those days, Galveston was the busiest port and the busiest city in Texas, and that's why the medical branch of the university got created in Galveston. But what we are trying to do today is to bring to you more opportunities such that your dreams and your aspirations in regards to what opportunities are given to you in a university environment are greater and enhance excellence, even more than what you're appreciating today. So we're setting the stage for you and your children, and other generations. So what are we doing? Well, the first thing is there's a lot of things going on right now in the sense of how in the world do you bring together our Brownsville campus and our Pan American campus into one university? How does your family grow? From your current, what is it, Robert, 22, 23? Okay. How do you grow your family by another 8,235 students? Because that's what Brownsville's student body is. And what does that mean to you to become the second largest Hispanic serving institution in America? What we're doing right now is we will be seeking your input in the very near future, and I'm talking about in the next 2 weeks. You'll be getting ideas, and then we want you to add to these ideas as to what you believe the name of your university should be. So that'll be, a fun process, and we've come up with some suggestions, and they're only suggestions to kind of start the process. You know, some of these suggestions you're going to say never in a million years, and others you might say, hey, this sounds great, or you may have some ideas that are better that then we can bring forth to the Board of Regents. We have started the search committee. We've actually given the charge to the search committee to begin the search for your new president. And we're hoping that current leadership applies for that. But the board has Regents rules that they need to follow. And because this is an opportunity to do a national search and an opportunity for every individual to provide why they want this job and what their vision is, this is always, you know, a healthy position to be in, again, for the benefit, you know, of the university. We also don't want to forget our past. I mean, you know, we talk about a new university, but really, it's new opportunities that are going to be given to you, but we can't forget where we came from. We can't forget, you know, the heritage and the hard work that has been done both in our Pan American campus and in our Brownsville campus. So one of the things that I'm looking from you is that when you do select a name, that the name that you select is a reflection, you know, of the history derived from Pan Am and Brownsville, but also a reflection that your university is going to have an impact not only on the region, but, you know, on the Americas, on the world. So we want you to be more expansive in your thinking, such that greater opportunities come, you know, before you. We are also are going to be asking the Board of Regents to help us come up with a master planner, and a master planner is, you know, experts who can take a look at all the facilities and all the real estate that the University of Texas has in the Rio Grande Valley, so that we can best determine how to utilize our facilities to the best of our abilities. At the same time, we need to get accreditation for this new university. And so we're working with the accrediting bodies to make certain that we follow the processes such that you've got accreditation, and we follow the processes that our accrediting bodies make sure is that anything that we do benefits the students and does not disadvantage the students. And so all this is about not just bringing two campuses together, it's about enhancing the opportunities for you. Otherwise, I think we would have a difficult time getting accreditation. There's been a lot of talk about a school of medicine, and the talk is exciting because it's going to happen. I mean, the Rio Grande Valley will have a medical school, no longer a regional academic health center, but a school of medicine. And the wonderful thing about the School of Medicine is that it's not defined to one city. And in many ways, you'd say, gosh, you make things more difficult by doing that. On the other hand, if you're a student and you've got greater access to patients and greater access to doctors and greater access to different hospitals, you know, the experiences that medical students have will be greater. So we will be establishing a medical education campus in Hidalgo County, and specifically that campus in Hidalgo County, you know, will be on the Pan American campus, and also utilizing the facilities that we have in Cameron County, you know, predominantly in Harlingen and in Brownsville. Just as we're embarking upon a search committee for the founding president, we've already started the search process for the founding dean of the School of Medicine. So what we're trying to do is also, you know, really give you the opportunities that UTSA, UT Arlington, UT El Paso, and UT Dallas have, which makes you a part of the path to become an emerging research university, and then eventually a research-intensive university, which brings additional funds to your university from the state. In addition, we understand, and the presidents have made a compelling case for the need of strategic facilities to make this dream come true. So sometime in the months ahead, when you know, I'm prepared to bring this before the Board of Regents, you know, we want to be able to actually establish the new facility for medical education, such that we can get preliminary accreditation for that. We also want to be able to actually address this, the real needs for the Brownsville campus and the Pan American campus in both academic space and the need for, you know, the appropriate science facilities to make all this come true. So A lot of work being done. We've got Dr. Pedro Reyes helping us achieve these goals through the Office of Academic Affairs. This is not something one person does. You know, this is something that many, many people do. And the thing that I want to just close before answering questions and listening to your views is that your voice counts. I'm a strong believer of shared governance, and one of the great joys that I've had as both being president and being chancellor is the opportunity to work with student government. And so the student government, when I was president of the Health Science Center, was so important for us in providing input in making the environment better for learning and keeping our campuses safer and providing, you know, better facilities for wellness. And at the same time, Student Advisory Council from a system level provides us great input on how to make the University of Texas system better. So in closing, the greatest privilege of being chancellor is to serve you. And I hope that as we finally, you know, look behind us 10 years from now, we can say that, you know, this hard work was worth it, and the opportunities are far greater for this region and for all of you and for your children than ever before. That's why we're doing this. So I've spoken long enough. I want to listen to you and answer any questions that you might have. The first student, most courageous student. I hope I know the answer.
Hello, Chancellor. My name is Lauro Zuniga, and I'm a senior.
Can you repeat your name?
My name is Lauro Zuniga.
Lauro, okay.
Lauro.
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto igualmente. I'm a senior marketing student here at the university, and I just have a question because you were speaking about the new challenges ahead. I was here at the faculty one too. The new challenges ahead with the university and how education saves lives. And I actually had a question regarding our process about the university. And it's like two, but it like forms into one. How will the new university admission criteria be assessed? Will the thresholds for entry be increased? And how will the new university work with the community to improve education throughout the Rio Grande Valley? I'm actually from up north because my parents are migrant farm workers. So I grew up in Indiana, and when I moved here my senior year, I noticed that there were very big differences in how education was thought out and how it was proceeded in the classrooms. And I was admitted into UTPA, but I understand that we have a lower threshold of entry than other universities. And you're speaking about how we have to remain competitive to get all these grants for the medical school. So my question to you is, you know, how are we going to remain competitive? How are we going to help students in the Rio Grande Valley to learn? Because I know this is education, it starts from the very beginning, from pre-kindergarten. How are we going to work with the community, you know, to build them up to be college-bound students? And it's because I'm also a tutor at the Writing Center, so I kind of see.
Okay, so let me, that's a broad question.
Yeah, sorry, I gave you like a loaded plate.
But I'll try my best.
Yes.
Let's first start off with, because you said this is a continuation of education from kindergarten to, you know, if you want to become a doctor, I do think that a fundamental mission for the university is to help educate absolutely, you know, great teachers. And it's one of the reasons why Pedro Reyes and I were so adamant working with Robert Nelson to expand the You Teach program, you know, to basically educate the best teachers we can to supplement the already great teachers you have. Because again, you know, we want our high school students to be well prepared to come into the university. The second issue is, in that regards, to admission standards. Well, first of all, admission standards can't change radically. You know, I mean, you can't just suddenly overnight say we're going to change admission standards and, you know, require, you know, GPAs of 3.5 and above and SAT scores of, you know, 90th percentile. I mean, you can't do that. You know, the responsibility, first and foremost, the responsibility of this university is to serve this region. And yes, we want to have a global impact, but you're not going to have a global impact unless you're serving the region well. So this new university has to establish great relationships with K through 12 and with the community colleges, to make certain that anyone who wants to get a baccalaureate or master's degree or a terminal degree like a doctorate degree, is to help that student get into the university. Now, it's up to the new president and the faculty and the administration to determine what are the appropriate admission standards. And you can't make that decision in isolation because you will be a university. You'll be the only public university serving, the Rio Grande Valley. So you've got to understand that. Now, you also don't want to be admitting students to a university that aren't yet prepared to navigate the rigors of a university, because I think it would be, we're not meeting our responsibilities if we're admitting students just to grow, and then they drop out because they couldn't navigate the curriculum, and then they've got debt and no degree. So, if there's a student who is at risk for whatever reason, that's where these partnerships with community colleges become very important, because the community college could better prepare the student, and then the student has a choice to complete their degree at the community college and or transfer to a four-year university and get their baccalaureate degree. So we would want to have great relationships with the community college to make sure that the credits that transfer also count towards your degree. Now, the other part of the question was how we work with the community.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Well, university is not going to be successful unless you impact the community. The university needs to understand what the workforce needs are of the Rio Grande Valley. If there's a critical need for, let's say, more engineers to address some manufacturing needs that the valley is involved with, well, then you want to work, with the Economic Development Foundation and the business community to determine what can the university do to address those workforce needs. So the bottom line is we can't work in a silo. We got to work with the community, and at the same time, we got to work with our K through 12 and community colleges to set the right admission standards. But we also want anybody who gets out of anybody we admit, we want them to succeed.
Yes. All right, and I would just like to say that I'm at your disposal for whatever that process may be, because it's very important to me. So thank you.
We'll probably be knocking on your door. Thank you.
Hello, sir. My name is Matthew Garcia.
Matthew, nice to be with you.
Nice to see you too. My question is in regards to the committees that have been put in place to help make some of those important decisions that you spoke about. I just wanted to know, are those committees, the decisions that they make, are they going to be seen as the I guess the final decision on, let's say, whatever committee on any particular policy, any particular procedure? Will their decisions be seen as the final decision, that's how it's going to be, or are their decisions seen as more of a recommendation to be finally decided by either the administration that gets put in place in the new university or the Board of Regents?
Okay, so the working committees are extremely important because you all are at the ground level. And so your campuses better than anybody in Austin or any administrator in Austin. So, the purpose, and we realize that in Austin, is that, look, you want work done, you got to listen to the individuals, to the students, faculty, and staff who are actually in Pan Am and Brownsville. So the work that these working committees have, remember, these working committees are equal, inclusive of both Brownsville and Pan Am, whether it would be in admissions, how does a student enroll, financial aid, curriculums, credit transfers, the whole bit, is that there are going to be some issues that, without a doubt, you all are going to have the answers and we're not. There are going to be some more complex issues that are going to require some system involvement, whether it would be, how do we consolidate business operations? So you're going to need the expertise of the Executive Vice Chancellor of Business Affairs to work with the Chief Financial Officers for both Pan Am and Brownsville to make sure that we're on a common platform to make sure that our finances, are being accounted for correctly. So, in regards to, important, information technology software, well, do we want to invest in two separate IT platforms in Brownsville Panhandle? Probably not. So how do we actually, be best stewards of the resources that we have? So in large part, in every part, your recommendation is going to be exceedingly important. I would bet that many of those will be accepted. Like everything else in life, there's going to be some that the answer is not that clear, and that's going to require the Office of Academic Affairs, and in some cases, my office, and in other cases, even going up to the boards of regents to get to the level where we need to get. So it's a multifactorial process. The large part is we are going to listen to the recommendations of these working groups. It's not, we haven't asked you to do this work, just to do it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Cigarroa. My name is Pamela Chavero, and I am a senior biology major at the university.
Good afternoon.
And, my question is the following. I know that we have the working groups going on and that they're going to start doing the work and meeting and everything. My question is regarding the medical school. Would these working groups reflect on the work of the medical school as well, or are they just meeting for the university?
Okay, so in fact, I think the next time I'm down here on November the 20th, we're going to be bringing Dr. Ken Shine, who is my advisor in regards to health affairs, at System. He will be working with students and faculty, and in fact, I think there's a forum for students and faculty, for him to visit. On the other hand, right now, the pathway for the creation of the medical school is a little bit in parallel, but still separate, because that is going to, it has its separate accreditation standards, and that dean will have a reporting relationship with the president here, but will have a direct reporting relationship with the Health Science Center in San Antonio until the medical school has independent accreditation. But the medical school is going to have to work with the faculty and the students and the master planning of the university such that we're synergistic rather than just a medical school that's separate from the university. We don't want that. The medical school is going to be a part of the university, and therefore its faculty will be a part of your faculty, and so there's going to have to be integration.
So the students will be able to maybe have a say in the resources that are available for students. I'm familiar with some of the resources that UTMB has regarding the USMLE exam, that they provide the students with Q&A banks and things like that. So would students be able to provide
Yeah, I
that
think the
input?
answer to that is yes, because it can be a part of your university.
Thank you.
Okay, we're alternating, so.
No, they were first.
Okay, all right.
Good afternoon,
Good
Chancellor.
afternoon.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming in down here. My name is Aaron Barrero, and really one of the best things about this university, I'm sure as well as at UTB, is all the opportunities that are available made to students, whether it's through internships or job opportunities, a lot of the resources that are available to us. So
I agree, Aaron.
And so what I want to know is, with the new university, we've made it pretty public that, especially with the medical school, the idea is that we want students to stay here, to give back to the Valley. And so a lot of these, I'm thinking Hestech, a lot of these companies that come down here and provide these internship opportunities are from the outside. And if they hear that, that idea of we want to keep them here, so more than likely they won't be leaving to come to our companies. That might make them shy away from coming down here and providing those opportunities that they usually do. Is something like I said with Hestech is something that's become sort of evident. So my question is, how are we managing that? How are we managing, marketing ourselves as a university that we're going to expand and grow, and although we like to keep our students here, we still are welcome to any opportunities available to any other companies or things like that. And so how are we marketing ourselves?
Okay, well, first of all, we've already started, the marketing aspect, which is, really, it was important to have the Governor Perry, come down here and visit all our campuses and do the signing ceremonies here. That gave a lot of recognition. I will say that it's working because many foundations, are beginning to capture interest in what is this, university going to look like? That, by the way, is the second largest Hispanic serving institute in America. So there's it's a fact, but it's a fact that resonates, in a nation whose demographics are changing. The third aspect is that when we define the name, then you can brand that more globally. Texas does not want to be a brain drain. I mean, we want students to have any opportunity that they want. I mean, if they want to get their education outside of Texas, God bless you. But if you want to get a first-class education in Texas and don't want to leave Texas, we want to provide that opportunity for you. So in regards to job creation, which is companies and so forth, is we hope that with our more resources that are coming over here, expanding our engineering facilities here, basically creating a school of medicine here that then develops biomedical research, which then translates to biotechnology, which then translates itself to commercialization. We want some of that great work. We want you to become a CEO of a company that's established because of the work that you did here. Now, we also know that we lose many medical students, predominantly residents. We got a lot of medical students we educate here, but there aren't enough residency spots, so they leave Texas. If you leave Texas and you do your residency in Maryland, there's an 80% chance you're going to stay in Maryland and not come back. So we want to expand the number of residencies positions here in the Rio Grande Valley, such that we don't lose the doctors that we educate. You're still, whether we like it or not, it's a fact. The Rio Grande Valley in South Texas is still one of the most medically underserved regions, so we want to mitigate that. So I think the vision, is hopefully mitigating your concerns and enhancing opportunities.
Thank you.
Carlos, you were here first.
I think you were here first.
No, they were both first before.
No, I'm going to go this one.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Carlos. Good afternoon. My name is Mauricio. I want to thank you for being here and taking your time to speak with us.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Thank you. I'm an international student from Mexico.
Gracias por estar aquí.
Gracias por recibirme.
¿De qué parte de México?
Center. It's called Querétaro.
I know where Querétaro is.
Thank you. Not a lot of people do. My question lies in regards to how the university operates as a business for international students, being me one of them. I heard through student government that there is some sort of talk of the new university being a bilingual university. Is that the case? And if so, I do have a follow-up question regarding that.
Okay, so we have guiding principles. They're guiding, they're not mandates. But a guiding principle from the Regents states that wouldn't it be innovative to have a university, as it's beginning its new chapter in life, to have students when they graduate are bilingual, biliterate, and bicultural. Okay. So what does that mean? The vision would be from those guiding principles that when you graduate from this new university, you're fluent in 2 languages, not necessarily English and Spanish. It could be English and any other language that you feel would be important, for you as an individual. We would like you to be able to write 2 languages. And if a student so chooses, we'd like to have a student have an experience in a different culture as part of their educational experience. So, those are guiding principles. Ultimately, those are decisions that are going to be made by the administration, but if the administration so wishes, I think the board and the system offices in Austin will be very receptive because that was part of the guiding principles.
Okay. Well, my question was more, the idea that was planted to me was more, that was presented to me, was more in regards to allowing students that only speak Spanish to enter the university and receive an education in Spanish. Is that too far out of an idea, or is that something that
that would be an incorrect
Okay.
conclusion, because we would not want to be restrictive to one, I mean, just to one foreign language,
Okay,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Buenas tardes, doctor Cigarroa.
Buenas
Igual que
tardes.
Mauricio, yo soy estudiante internacional.
Gracias.
I'm an international student and I study economics here. It was good that Mauricio went first. Then my question will be that is there any current or future plans regarding the UT system working together with Mexican universities? And what will that perception be to the new university?
Okay, so we already work with universities in Mexico, and Mexico's and other, foreign countries. For example, UT Austin has a presence in Monterrey. There's relationships with UNAM in Mexico City, Monterrey Tech, and so on. So the issue is, it's the leadership of the university that determines, affiliation agreements with, with other universities around the world. So, the fact is, it's a guiding principle is to be bicultural, that, the leadership of this new university will establish substantive agreements where those opportunities are open, to students binationally. So, the answer to that is, yeah, we're going to be receptive to that. Unfortunately, we've all experienced, some challenges, right now, but I think it's beginning to turn around. Is, we had to become a bit more restrictive about foreign travel, just because of some of the challenges that we face, not only in Mexico but in other parts of the world. But I'm getting a sense that things are getting better, and hopefully, more of these international programs can flourish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We only have 5 minutes more, so ask your questions quickly, and Chancellor will ask quickly.
Yeah, but you know what? An indirect conclusion to that is I got to answer quickly.
Good afternoon, Chancellor. My name is Eric Sanchez. Thank you once again for coming and giving us this opportunity to speak with you. My question is in regard to academic programs. Specifically, I understand that we have some academic programs that are available to us here at UT Pan American, and Brownsville has one as well. Is there going to be a way?
Can you repeat that again? Oh, you can slow down a little bit.
Okay. So it's pretty much here at our university, we do have academic programs that are available to us, and I'm sure that Brownsville has some items and some academic programs that they have available to them. Will we have a joining of those academic programs, or will we be having a standard where we'll both be having the same system academically? And I guess this one's more specific into something as an example, is that here at our university, we do have the agreement with Baylor College of Medicine, the Pre-Medical Honors College. Will that still be alive, or that will be something that will be, I guess, inclusive with UTB, or something, or
Yeah, I would, I think in regards to the affiliation agreement with Baylor, in regards to, their facilitated admissions program, is that, on day one of the new university, I would basically amend the affiliation agreement to basically, amend the agreement such that current agreement exists for the new university. Second is that what we want to do out of this new university is to create more educational opportunities for students. So, really the current courses and the current degrees, we do want to unify that, these degrees come from one university. We also don't want to duplicate, let's say, for example, let's say there's a small department in Pan Am, but no department in Brownsville. Do we want to have 2 small departments, or do you want to utilize the great faculty from here who have the department and expand their student pool to the students in Brownsville? So technology is going to be important, such that students feel like they're part of one university and that they can benefit from faculty from both campuses. Finally, because we are on a path, the vision of developing an emerging research university, I do see more master's degrees as well as more doctorate degrees developing as part of this new university, in addition to a doctor of medicine.
Thank you.
I'm going to make this nice and sweet because I know that people have to come up here and talk as well. I couldn't pass on this opportunity, like Mr. Nelson said. This is a privilege for me. I want to talk about the extracurricular possibilities. Because these both schools are merging, it's going to create a lot of popularity down here in South Texas. So I want to see the possibilities of maybe a football team. What type of measures would have to be taken for that? Like, what would we have to exceed, or if you have any?
Yeah. So it's funny when we were talking about this new university. I don't know whether you've heard of Red McCombs before or not.
Yes, sir.
You know, Red was the previous owner of the Minnesota Vikings, and he said, "Wow, I can see a football team uniting that entire valley, you know, of this new university." So, yeah, I mean, in time, I mean, again, this is not a decision for the chancellor. This is a decision of the president and the administrative team. You know, do we want this for a new university? Yes or no? If it's yes, then they have to define a business plan, you know, that is sustainable and that works and that gets approved by the board, because, you know, we don't want to start something with false expectations. So the business plan needs to make sense. Is that the very first thing that a new president is going to do? Probably not.
No.
But is that something in the vision? You know, my bets are it'll happen. It just, there are a couple of priorities that need to be checked off first, and then once everything stabilizes and the administration wants it and the students and the faculty want it, because shared governance is important, if that's the case and they can present a compelling business plan to the board, I would say that the board would go for it. But, you know, just like everything else in life, you got to present the case.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Maria Ibarra, and I'm a dreamer here at UTPA. And my question is regarding in the new university. In the creation of the new university, how are dreamers being kept in mind?
Repeat that again?
How are dreamers being kept in mind?
Oh, okay.
In the new university.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, first of all, you know, we want to expand opportunities for education, you know, for everyone. And, you know, and Pan Am and Brownsville do that. You know, for many students who have lived here all their lives, but who happen to have been born, you know, in Mexico. We have to work with, you know, our state governments and our federal governments and the law. And so there's great advocates, you know, for all of this. But fundamentally, it's, you know, we do have to follow the law. But we want to open opportunities for everyone.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon. My name is Claudia Lemus. I am a mass communications major. I'm a part of the Environmental Awareness Club, and recently we attended a climate change conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where
was it cold over there or what?
It was really cold. We became
Weather's
aware,
nicer over here.
We became aware that several universities throughout the nation are implementing sustainable changes within their campuses. With the new creation of this university, is it possible for us to consider creating sustainable campuses where we research and implement green changes with like?
Well, actually, I don't know whether you were here as part of the Vista Summit. We had a Vista Summit. Actually, I think probably it was in this auditorium. And, you know, we spoke about sustainable campuses. And again, you know, part of this is going to be the leadership of the campus. If this is really important to the leadership and the faculty and the students, then, you know, the campus is going to be very, you know, very receptive to the importance of a sustainable campus. You know, whether it's how we fertilize, you know, our grounds and how we maintain our buildings. I think the other aspect is that as we're building new buildings, you know, we want to build them environmentally friendly. At the same time, we also have to be cognizant about costs, because, you know, I mean, there's extremes. But at the end of the day, we at the University of Texas care about our environment. We care about protecting our lands, and we want to be an environmentally friendly campus. But those are decisions that the leadership of the campus needs to help us at UT System, help them facilitate that pathway.
Would you consider having a committee of like a sustainable, environmentally friendly committee? within the program, like as it's.
You know, I
being
certainly, as
debated?
chancellor, would be receptive, but that's a decision the president has to make. You know,
Ooh.
I think you got to make it more vocal then.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.